Hi, I'm Stephanie from Jolly Scrumptious Cupcakes, and I'm here as a guest tutor at Pretty Witty Cakes. And today I've got for you a little tutorial to show you how to make this cute little monkey cupcake topper. So I'll start with the base here, the brown base. I've just got some brown sugar paste. It's a chocolate flavoured one. I've added a little bit of white to it just to make it a little lighter brown. So I'm going to roll that out, not too thin. When you make these domed ones, you need to keep it quite thick so it keeps its shape. So a good couple of millimetres thick there, and I'm using this big circle cutter. This is a 78mm diameter cutter, and I use this for all of the domed cupcakes that I make. So I just cut that out, and then I always set them to dry on one of these foam domes. So just scoop that up. Just tidy those edges up and then pop that over your dome. Try and get it in the middle and just carefully smooth down those edges. So once you've done that, you can either choose to leave this to dry before you do the rest of it, or you can make it all now and then leave it to dry. But it's really important that you do leave that so that it maintains its shape. So you've got to at least leave it overnight before popping it on the cupcake. So I'm just going to carry on making it now, obviously, but if you wanted to, you could, if you were making loads, you could cut all the domes out and leave them to dry and then work on them. So for his facial features here, I've got some light coloured paste. It's not quite white. I've just added a little bit of very small amount of caramel to it, so it's just a little lighter ivory colour. So to do his eyes here, good shape to use for a monkey when you're doing it is a heart cutter to get that sort of facial shape at the top there. So roll this one out. Again, not too thin, otherwise you might lose the shape when you come to pick it up. So this is quite a big heart cutter here. Let's see what this one measures across. About 5.5 centimetres there at that widest point. So that's quite a good size for a cupcake topper. And whilst you don't always see it, I always just tend to cut that bit off of there, a little point at the bottom. So just dab your finger around the edge if you've got any frayed edges there, just to neaten that up. And bring that cupcake back in. I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on the bottom here. And then pick up your little heart shape and stick that on, probably, well, sort of just above halfway is where you want the top of that to come. So you've got a little space here at the top for his head. I'll just try and get that as central as possible. Then for his nose, just take a piece of the same colour, and you might just need to try this out for size. I'm just going to roll a piece into a ball and then roll it lengthways to make an oval shape. And then just push that flat with your palm of your hand. And what you want is you're trying to make this nice wide mouth area, so you want to make sure it's going to cover pretty much the width of your topper there and overhang the heart shape we put on there. So that's right size. I'm just going to stick that down with a bit of glue. So pop that on there and make sure you smooth those ends down. Okay, so when that's all stuck, I'm going to give him a nice big grin with this circle cutter. So just get that central and just push that in. And then depending on how far you want the smile to come up, you can just push that in and just wiggle that either side. So he's got a nice big grin, and then just using this tiny little ball tool, I'm just going to add some dimples at the side there. Okay, for his nose, we want to use the same colour and just get 2 little balls. Get them the same size. And just at the top here, pop a bit of glue. Pop those on, and then using this ball tool, the smallest one at the end, just going to poke a little hole in there. There's his little nostrils. Then for the eyes, using a bit of white first of all, I've got 2 circle cutters that I'm going to use. That one's a 1 centimetre diameter and 1/2 centimetre. So just roll out this white. So using the bigger one first of all, just cut 2 circles out. And I'm going to stick those just above the nose mouth area here, so pop a bit of glue there and stick that one on. Same with that. And then taking some black and just roll that out, and then use your little circle cutter, so the 1/2 centimetre one, and just pop those. You can put them in the middle, up the top. I'm just going to pop them down the bottom there, so it looks like he's just looking over his nose. And poke that out. And then just to finish the eyes, I quite often use these little white nonpareils just to add in the middle, and it just adds a little bit more detail. So decide where you want to put them. Poke a little hole in with a cocktail stick, and pop some glue on the ends and just pick up the balls on the end of the cocktail stick and pop one in each of the holes that you've made. Just push those in to secure them. So there's our little monkey's face. We've just got to finish it off with some nice big ears. So using our brown, just get 2 pieces and roll them into a ball, and just try and make sure they're the same size. So 2 little brown balls, and then our lighter colour that we've used for his nose and eyes, just roll 2 little balls again, just quite a bit smaller than the brown ones, but try and get those the same size as well. And then just give them a little push down, the brown ones, just to flatten them slightly, and a tiny bit of glue in the middle, and pop the lighter colour on there, and then using the large end of the ball tool, just push down and make sure they're the same size, you haven't flattened one more than the other. And then just take your scalpel and just take a little bit off the side, just of the brown section, off of each one. And then you want to pop a bit of glue on the side, and then just position that just to the side of his head and sort of angle them upwards, and then that sort of keeps it contained within that space so that it's not going to overhang your cupcake. And there's your cheeky little monkey cupcake topper. So if you've decided to make it all in one go. As I say, leave that on the dome to dry, and then once that's dry, you can just put a nice big swirl of buttercream underneath here, and then just push that on top, and that will hold it on top of your cupcake.